Pokemon is awesome. I remember a nice, calm evening in September. Probably wasn't even nice and calm. I was probably screaming my head off and banging my head against the wall. Maybe that's why I'm so screwed up. But back to it. My mom came home from work in the city and she said, "Peter, I got these two things for you. I didn't know which one you would like, so here you go." In her hand was a red and blue box, and inside, Pokemon Red and Blue. Being it from the anime, to the card game, to the video games, Pokemon influenced me a lot. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down why everything is awesome about Pokemon. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, my second favorite generation. Doesn't matter though, they're still amazing games. I gotta introduce my first video game rival. When you start the game up, you see him, Blue. And well, I didn't name him Gary because the anime didn't come out for another week, so I named him after my best friend, Ryan. AKA Badass Ryan if you watched my Soul Silver walkthrough. You shrink down, you enter this black and white world. You walk downstairs, you see your mom, and you wonder where your dad was. Or where is he? And you try to venture out and an old creepy old man grabs you, brings you into his dark and scary lab and shows you his balls. Well, my mind's in the gutter now because I'm older, but when I was a kid, I wasn't joking around. I was on my first adventure. My first adventure in a video game, yeah. It wasn't Zelda my first adventure, Pokemon was. You get introduced to these three cute characters, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. I chose Bulbasaur because, well, Ivysaur is my favorite Pokemon. Now before I get back to talking about the video games, KFC was one of the first companies to sponsor Pokemon. Now, since the stereotype of being an American, you know, you're fat and all, even though it's not true, my mom brought home KFC once and she got me a kid's meal, and inside the kid's meal there was a figure of Ivysaur. It, to me, was the coolest looking thing. It was a dinosaur frog with a flower on his back, and I freaking loved it. When I saw Bulbasaur, I was like, that looks like that toy I got. I want this one. And when it evolved to Ivysaur, I was so freaking happy. Then you get to battle your rival. You embarrass him in front of your grandfather, or you get embarrassed by your rival. To me, he was like the final boss in the beginning of the game, and well, he is technically the final boss. Not counting Mewtwo. Ah. Get all 8 badges, and then you get to face Mewtwo? The most powerful Pokemon? Psychic Pokemon were overpowered. And I remember sitting in class with your link cable, battling your friends while your teacher was about teaching you, and you didn't give a crap. You were playing Pokemon, the best freaking thing. Girls would come over and be like, "Oh, can I play?" And you'll be like, "No, this is the Game Boy, not the game, girl." I was lame, I know. But still, you would send out Mewtwo, they'll be like, "Ah, damn, I can't beat Mewtwo." Or they can't beat my Ivysaur because, you know, no one beats my Ivysaur. And then you get introduced to Giovanni, the Italian, well, the only Italian in Pokemon, and he has to be the Mafia leader. Giovanni, leader of Team Rocket, to protect the world from devastation, to unite all people within our nation. I was a kid in 1998. I got rid of a crime lord and his mafia goons. I felt like a damn hero. Red and Blue were classic games. And yeah, they had the occasional glitches. But still. Then Lavender Town freaked me out when I was a kid. Oh my god. I had a nightmare once that a gigantic Gengar like destroyed my house because I was at the part of Lavender Town. And yeah, you have all these creepypastas, but still. The game was so amazing, so nostalgic. I just love Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Yellow. Oh man. Walking around with Pikachu. You get to get all the Kanto starters like Ash, which I'll be talking about in a bit in the anime part. But still. I couldn't get Bulbasaur because I didn't know you had to freaking spray Pikachu 16 times in front of what's her name, and then you could get freaking Bulbasaur. I'm there saying Pikachu love me, and it's like, man, I'm like, well, I'm sorry that you got freaking smashed in the face by a Geodude because you're a damn electric type. I didn't have a grass type. But back on topic, I just love Red, Blue, and Yellow. Then Pokemon Stadium came out, the Mario Party of Pokemon. I love those minigames so much. I loved battling, seeing your Pokemon in 3D, it felt so real. Then after that came out, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, my favorite Pokemon generation. I loved it so much because it felt so great. It was like Red, Blue, and Yellow and a new game. You can go back to Kanto. You can battle Johto. You drive out Team Rocket again.
Looks like Team Rocket is rising up again!
You get Lugia, a freaking bird with hands. You have Crystal, the Pokemon animations, they were animated. You get to see these Pokemon move on the Game Boy. It blew my mind. My Totodile's moving? And then I got introduced to badass Ryan Silver, one of the coolest rivals. Oh, man, I know I sound like an obnoxious, 6-year-old, but I love these games. Crystal had such an amazing story to it. It was simple, but it was great, and it really didn't have a story to say, but it still was an adventure. You had to get Suicune. You had to get him. You saw him all the time. You're like, I'm gonna get you, Suicune, and you finally get him. And then you battle Entei, and you're like, why are you running when you're sleeping? Oh, just love it. I loved it so much. As much as I hate Ruby and Sapphire now, I didn't hate it back then. I hate it now because I'm more of a nostalgic person. Looking past that though, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald were amazing games. Emerald has one of my favorite cutscenes, where Quasla comes down and he's like, yo, shut the hell up, to Groundon. Oh, they were just great games. Team Magma and Team Aqua, depending on the game, has a different alliance you joined. Freaking love Team Aqua. Pirates? Who doesn't love freaking pirates? Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. Oh. I was growing older and I still love to play Pokemon. Why? Because it was an amazing adventure. Team Galactic. And having these new type of graphics. And the Pokemon were pretty cool looking. And you get to see Garatina in the Distorted World. One of the coolest looking mofos out there. I just love him so much. I would go into more details, but I don't want to keep on just blabbering about how I love it. They're just amazing games. A game that can bring someone into an adventure and can keep them happy throughout the whole game is great. And then yes, Black and White and Black and White 2. I might have screwed up my YouTube career in Black and White, and I might have said I hated it, but kind of, I didn't hate it that much. They were cool games. Yeah, the cutscenes were a little over the top sometimes, but still. And now, X and Y are coming out. I wish I can talk about how much I love it more. When I saw that trailer, my jaw dropped. Because you know what? It looks like Golden Sun. One of my favorite generation freaking games. But that's another Blank is Awesome series. X and Y is going to be amazing. Even the legendaries look freaking cool. You got Jesus, Bambi, and Skyhawk. They have names, but I don't remember them. In between that, we had Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap, an amazing game for the... It was so simple, but so fun. You get to throw gas balls at freaking electrodes and they explode. You get to see Jinx take a picture of a lady with big tits. What's not great about that? I have problems. I really do. Then you have, all these other games. Pokemon just spewed out so many great video games. Listen, I know I might sound repetitive, but Pokemon is awesome. An adventure that keeps you going and going. There's people out there who say, Pokemon's for kids. Those games aren't fun. Why don't you play some Call of Duty? Shoot some guy in the head. Bada bing, bada boom, boom, bam, boom. You know what Pokemon is? Strategizing. Ah, shit, this guy's sending out this. He's a grass type. Okay, I have this. I have to do this. Okay, let me do this. Alright, I do this attack. It does this much damage. Let me increase my stats. That's what makes it so great. It can go to any... It ranges to anyone. Look, Pokemon was targeted for kids and adults. For everyone. And who plays it? Kids and adults. The Call of Duty fan base is, well, 13 to like 25. After that, people are like, regardless, people love Pokemon. My mom loves Pokemon. She loves playing Gold and Crystal and Silver. My dad, well, he's a foreigner, so he doesn't speak. I still love him, though. I always wondered, where was my dad? And that's what I loved about Ruby and Sapphire. You actually had a dad, and he was the gym leader. You had to fight your own dad. Oh, so cool. I don't know. They were just an amazing adventure game. Besides the games, I loved the anime. It came out, I think, September 10th or 8th or something along those lines. You get introduced to Red. Well, I wish it was Red. You get introduced to Ash, Gary, Delilah, Professor Oak, Brock,
Use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.
Misty, and yeah, most of them were kind of from the video games, but you get to see them in person. And the mascot of them all, Pikachu. Now, I haven't watched the anime now. I stopped watching it after the Gold and Silver and Crystal era. Because I don't know, never had the time to watch it. But the anime back then was really great. It was violent. There was Pokemon that actually bit each other. It was just a great show. And yeah, when you look back at it now, it's kind of corny and stupid, but when you were a kid, it was amazing. I just loved it so much. It was comedy. The movies. I remember watching the movies. I remember I skipped school with my friend Patrick. And we went to the movie. My mom took us, and we snuck in. Oh, we didn't sneak in. We snuck in because we left school. And then they would hand you out these decks of Pokemon cards. And then me and my friend Patrick would go underneath the podium, grab a few more. We got the legendary Mew trading card. That's not technically a great card. It's pretty much sucky, but it looks cool. It's metallic, and it's in Egyptian in that first movie, and I cried my goddamn eyes out when Ash was in stone. Freaking Pikachu slapping on another Pikachu. Oh, it was amazing. The anime, the movies, they were amazing. It's awesome. Yeah, I know I'm repetitive, but still. God. You get to see, in cartoon form, animals beating the shit out of each other, and us kids loved it. They would be like, Pika Pika. Boba Boba. Saw. And well, it was amazing. And our parents would be like, what the hell is Japan doing to our children? And when we look at it now, we kind of make fun of it, but still. We got sucked into it because we loved it. We loved this violence. We loved it so much. It was so great because it kept us entertained. If you go back and all those people who say that they hate Pokemon, oh, they never watched it as a kid, they watched it as a kid. They loved it. It was a part of everyone's childhood in the 90s. And it might have changed now. Ash might still be 10 due to marketing reasons because they don't want to change him. Because, well, kids are kind of targeted to Ash. They're young. I'm relatable to them. And they wanted to relate a character to the general audience. So, yeah. Throw all those Ash coma theories out and all that bullshit. Ash is still a great character. He might kind of be iffy now, but when I was growing up, he was one of my heroes. I looked up to him for some strange reason. When he got Charizard to battle, when he owned Gary, when he got all those badges, when he went everywhere, when he went to Johto, when he was riding Lugia's back, and Lugia shot a freaking beam down, and I was in the movie theaters like, it was just great. The anime was truly amazing. I think I made my parents almost broke with the trading card game for Pokemon. We used to have this place back in my town. It was kind of like a convenience store It was a little small place, and they would sell the cards, and I would go in there all the time when I was walking home from school from my mom, and she would always buy me a pack. I loved it so much. My first legendary shiny, well, it wasn't really a legendary, it was a shiny, was, I considered them legendary when you were a kid, those holographic cards, was a Charizard. Oh, that cool looking Charizard. Then I got a Blastoise, a Venusaur, and I think my favorite moment was, for my birthday party, my mom took me to Qzar.
For an action-packed challenge of stealth and skill, think Qzar of Call Place. A cutting-edge fusion of hide-and-seek and capture the flag means an experience you won't forget. The island's largest arcade and fantastic party package is available. Call now or visit QZarNY.com for more info.
And my crush got me a package of Pokemon cards, along with my card and another gift. And she says, I know you like Pokemon, so I wanted to get you these. I open it up, and it has an Ivysaur card. And that was the only thing missing from my collection. I get something missing from my collection, I get my favorite Pokemon, I get something from my crush. It just made my face light up. I was so happy. I remember going in the schoolyard and playing Pokemon before my Catholic school was like,
Pokemon world is a world of the demonic, of the satanic. But while you might not take it quite seriously, I assure you that demons take it quite seriously. Satan takes it quite seriously. Your children need to know there's a devil, and he hates them, and he wants to ruin their life.
I am not funny at all. Stupid. Anyway, you would battle with your friends. You would
killing each other in their fantasy games and on their video screens and blowing each other away and blowing each other up. That when they walk down the streets and they pull out their .45 and they pump some friend full of bullets, they kind of think in the back of their mind, well, they're just going to, we'll turn off the machine and they'll get up and they'll be there tomorrow and I'll shoot them again.
You would be trade with your friends. You would trade with random strangers. That's what I loved about in the 90s. You would go up to random people and they would be kids and they'll have their Pokemon cards and you'd be like, hey, you got cards? And they'll be like, yeah, I got cards. You'd be like, I got this Venomoth, and they were like, oh damn, I didn't want a Venomoth here. I got this Oddish. Shit, that Oddish. I always wanted that Oddish. You could talk to anyone back then, and they would have cards on them because it was such a big boom. Trading card game was a fun game. I remember my cousin, he had a Lugia card. It was I think it was holographic. And I had a Ho-Ho holographic card, and I loved Lugia more than Ho-Ho. And he was like, okay, you want my card? You gotta challenge me for it. I was so close to winning that card, but I lost my Ho-Ho card to him. And, well, sadly he gave away all his Pokemon cards, but he gave it away to his own freaking family member. I could have had a Lugia, but still. Pokemon just brings so much memories back in my past. And yeah, you look at people now, and older people or other people on the internet might laugh at this video, but still. It means so much to me. Something in my childhood that still goes on today is so great. Now, before I end this video, I want to add one more thing why Pokemon is awesome. The manga. I would have been talking about this like it was in my childhood, but I didn't read the manga until this year. And, well, I was happy to read it, even when I got to the Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, and Black and White chapters. The manga is what Pokemon was going to be, in the anime form. But they realized Ash did so well, so we can't change him out, so we'll draw him in the manga. And there have been many variations of the manga, but still, it's so great. You get introduced to Red, who is a badass. He was so cool. And then he gets Bulbasaur, which was even so much cooler when I was reading it. Then you get introduced to Gold, and then Badass Ryan, aka Silver. It's just if you didn't read the manga, I recommend reading it. Go to like Manga Panda or Manga Stream and just read Pokemon Adventures. It's worth it if you're a Pokemon fan. It's a little bit more violent, like Pokemon die legitly. They don't faint, they die. And Arbok gets like cut in half and it's like guts and stuff spew out. I remember sitting in my bed and waking up on a Saturday once at like, it was like, I don't know, it was early. It was like 8 o'clock and I was too lazy to get out of bed. So I pulled up my phone and then I said, you know what, let me just read this manga. I read it for like 6 hours straight. That's how pathetic my life is. I didn't want to stop reading because I wanted to know what happened in each different chapter. Now, this mini video might not explain why Pokemon is awesome to everyone, but why it was awesome to me. I'm sorry I didn't get to express it in more ways, but Pokemon is really awesome. If you don't mind, I want to say a few more words. I want to give one more thank you, saying thank you for watching my first video on this new channel, The Legend of Peter. My legend and your legend. That sounds so stupid. Anyway, starting my new channel out, Golden Silver 7 is going to be closed down. This is where all my videos are going to be going. And if you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot of these blank is awesome, like Zelda is awesome, Golden Sun is awesome. These kind of videos, top 10s, and the majority is going to be Let's Plays of 3DS games and Wii U games because I'm the Nintendo Oracle. Just kidding, I'm not that cool. But I love Nintendo so much, so my whole channel is going to be dedicated to Nintendo. If you also love Pokemon, why don't you check out GCPM11, aka John. He's my cousin, he's a great friend and a great Let's Player. So if you don't know about him, which you probably do know about him, go click in and subscribe. And also, one last thing, subscribe to Kanto University. Well, by subscribing you enroll into one of the best universities on YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We are going to be striving to give you every tips, every Pokemon, and every little TM you need to find in every Pokemon game. Right now we're doing Black and White 2, and then soon we're going to move on to X and Y, and then maybe Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, Stadium, Snap, Pokemon Puzzle League. But we're going to have the video encyclopedia for you on YouTube, so when you know, sometimes when you read text it's a little difficult, so we're actually showing you how to do this stuff. Right now the main professors are John, Pokemon Cinema, and Shofu, so, you know, those are all great guys, and, well, I'll probably make videos on it one day. I just wanted to get this channel to start off. So, once again, thank you, and have a great day.